It's April the 16th, Picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up at underdogfantasy.com, promo code MLB SGPN to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Tuesday, April the 15th, and we are here to handicap a full slate of action for Wednesday, April the 16th. Joining me in his now lucky New York Yankees lookalike uniform is Mr. Lonte Smith. Lonte, you wearing the shirt for luck again?
Yeah, man, back-to-back good shows from us, man, overall. So just want to keep the luck going. Hopefully we can have another one. So I'm looking forward to it.
Fair enough. It is Jackie Robinson Day today. So happy Jackie Robinson Day. I've seen some stuff that MLB Network have been doing today, and they always do it so well. I think it's could be a lesson to the British broadcasters I have to endure. That someone on a day like today, MLB are so good at recognising it. So that's good. Had a really exciting evening of Champions League football tonight. Been very dramatic. Finished a few minutes ago. Peaks and troughs. One winner, one loser. Over on the Premier League show for that one. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I've done a show, Lonte, since last Thursday with you. So, MLB weekend, how are you feeling? Are you running hot? How are you doing?
Pretty good, man. I think, overall, I think the more data that we get, and I think we said this on the last show as well, the more data we get, the better we can kind of assess some of these teams and some of these pitchers. So it's been up pretty good. My volume's been a little bit lower because playoff basketball is about to start. So,
okay.
So just volume a little bit lower, but still overall pretty good. I think I'm top 3 on the tally site. So I'm doing all right. Doing okay.
Yeah, I noticed Dylan was smelling himself a little bit on
a little bit. Yeah,
with his tally site picks for B, and he fucking clipped the photograph with me at the bottom, which I thought was a little bit harsh. He could have cropped it one name up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I see you, Dylan. Yeah, I won't forget that the next time you need something off me. But yeah, clip it one place higher, mate. So I'll speak to Dylan when I get a chance. If you are live in the comments with us, by all means, say hello. Jake Brubaker was first in. I haven't spoken to Jake this season. The once mythical cousin of JT Brubaker, the old Pittsburgh pitcher. Jake, nice to have you along for 2025. And Michael. Michael joins us regularly on the Premier League show as well. Michael had Barcelona going through tonight. He's our resident New York Mets and Barcelona. That's a weird combination of things. But yeah, 15 games tomorrow. Loads of stuff to get to. So we will crack on. I'll just remind everyone that the place to get all our picks and podcasts in one convenient place is the SGPN app, which is free wherever you get your apps. Really good tool, that is. Tomorrow starts with loads of baseball. There are 4 early games. One early evening. 1:07 Eastern first pitch is the Atlanta Braves at the Toronto Blue Jays. For the Atlanta Braves, we have the return of Spencer Strider. It's been a long time coming. Chris Bassett will go for the Blue Jays. The lines are -150 for Atlanta, +125 for the Blue Jays. The total is hovering at around 8 for this one. Yeah, not before time. It's great to see Spencer Strider on the mound here. Not been seen since April the 5th last year. So round about 54 weeks for Spencer Strider. And from what I can gather, he is absolutely ready to go. We've got a picture on debut later on, who's going to be on a little bit of a pitch count. But Strider looks absolutely fully wound up. In his last start at AAA, he threw 90 pitches and struck out 13 through 5 1/3. So I don't expect any issues tomorrow. I fully expect Strider to be unleashed in all his glory tomorrow. Chris Bassett, he's had 3 great starts as well. 18 1/3, 0.98 ERA with 21 strikeouts. I mean, the Blue Jays, psycho, still, nothing changed. Atlanta, Lonte, have lost the most percentage of playoff odds since the start of the season. Their playoff odds have gone down 25.5% since the start of the season, which is the most of any team. But I just wanted to get Strider at a half-decent price before he's minus 220 every start. Because after tomorrow, he might be minus 220 every start. I don't think he's going to be in any way held back, limited, pitch count, anything like that. Atlanta have been slightly better lately, up to 5 11. The Jays, you still don't really know what you're going to get with Toronto. Vlad, here's a question for you, Lonte. How many hook games since Vlad hit a home run?
Well, I know he hasn't hit one this year, so I would say 30.
Oh, it's not bad, guess. You can have half a point. 26.
Okay,
I took him, actually, if you one day last week on the show, in hindsight. But yeah, 26 games without the home run for Vladdy. I want to take Atlanta, Lonte. I think's my my play. Not a great price, but I want Strider on side for his season debut.
Yeah, I wanted to take Strider as well. I wanted to get a little bit better price, but I think coming with that is Atlanta, who's been playing decent as of late. They've won 3 of 5. Offense has been a lot better in each of those wins. They're hitting around 244 in that span, 8.4 hits, 4.5 runs per 9. Toronto, I mean, 1 and 3 last 4. They're just kind of up and down as they usually are. They've allowed 5+ runs in 3 of those. So pitching has been a little bit up and down. But Bassett has been really good. He ran off the numbers, 1 earned run or less in all 3 starts. So he's been really good. Despite that, I mean, they've lost 2 of those 3. So offense hasn't helped him out at all. I think we see a low-scoring affair here. It's good to hear that Spencer Strider won't be on a pitch count or any restrictions. So I think we see both offenses struggle a little bit with the pitching. I like first 5 under. I like full game under. If I had to make a play on the side, it would be the Blue Jays at the plus money, but I like the under even more.
Okay, so low scoring game there for Lonte. 1:10 Eastern first pitch is the New York Mets at the Minnesota Twins. Griffin Canning for the Mets. The Twins have David Fester going to the mound, and the books can't split them. It is minus 110 each of 2, with a total Lonte of 7.5.
Yeah, good price. I think the price is spot on. I mean, but Detroit to me has been the better team. Milwaukee's lost 3 straight, 19-7 is the combined score, while Detroit's been on fire offensively. And I think that's one of the questions that a lot of people had coming into the season was how can their offense kind of take the next step, because the pitching was going to be there. I mean, they've won 8 of their last 10. They had 5+ runs in 6 of those 10 games. Olsen, I mean, he hasn't been as sharp. I think he's been kind of the I guess he's been the weak link in the rotation thus far. 4 earned runs in 2 of his 3 games. In each of his 2 starts in 3 games. So not as sharp. Quintana's coming in 7 scoreless, coming in off of 7 scoreless versus Arizona. He did only have 2 strikeouts though. No walks. He allowed 4 hits. So I mean, contact has been there. The defense has been pretty good behind him. I like Detroit long term, but in this specific spot, I think Quintana can pitch a little bit better. Olsen also hasn't gone over 5 innings in 2 of those 3 starts. So I think Quintana is the better pitcher here. I think Milwaukee can go well. I'll take Milwaukee here at home.
all of that was well and good, Lonte, but I read out the pictures and the lines for the Mets at the Twins, which was the game you were meant to be doing. But that's all right. I'll let you run with it. It's fine. I'm very adaptable. I will carry on with the Tigers at the Brewers, and we'll come back to the Mets at the Twins. Detroit v. the Brewers is Reese Olson and Jose Quintana. Plus 110 for the Tigers, minus 130 the Brewers, total 7.5. I find Olson fairly average in his 3 games. The totals of those 3 games have been 13, 9, and 10. We got a nice low total here. 7 scoreless for Quintana on his debut. 31 starts last year. He was absolutely fine. The Tigers have been in decent form. Since they got swept by the Dodgers in the first series, they've won 10 of 13, Detroit. But they're not hitting the lefties very well, 239. Versus right-handed pitching, the Brewers are 7-2-1 in the first 5. And that fits in well with my handicap because I prefer Quintana to Olson. So I'm happy to take that stat, and I'll take Milwaukee on the first 5 in this one. The second time, let's attempt to handicap the New York Mets at the Minnesota Twins. Griffin Canning, David Fester, minus 110 each of 2, total 7.5. Griffin Canning is doing okay without entirely convincing me. His starts have been quite short. He's walking too many people. I just feel like taking Canning's a little bit treacherous at this point. David Fester's a pitcher I really, really want to get on board with here. He's had just 1 start, which was 4 2/3 scoreless against Detroit. I really like him. This kind of goes against my instinct because I don't want to bet Minnesota. Minnesota have been bad going back a long way now. They've been bad at the start of this season, but they finished last season like a drain as well. So this isn't a little thing now. This is sort of 3 solid months that the Twins have been poor. However, I mean, just an example, sorry, of how bad they are. 24th in runs scored, 26th in batting average in OBP. It's not very nice, but I like Fester, and I'm not convinced by Canning, so I'm going to go against my instinct. I'm going to take a Minnesota first 5, Lonte.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think the Mets offense has picked it up a little bit. I mean, that's been the story of their season. The offense just hasn't come along. We saw Soto come out. I don't know if you saw this, but you saw Soto come out and say he's kind of adjusting to not being able to he wasn't pitched the same. He's not being pitched the same as he was in for the Yankees. I mean, of course, because you got Judge right there. So of course they're going to pitch you different. But I think the offense has picked it up. I mean, he scored 5+ runs in 4 of the last 6. The pitching has really been carrying him all around thus far. 2.22 team ERA, 211 batting average allowed. The bullpen ERA is under 2, so the pitching has been saving them from the offense as kind of being able to catch up. You mentioned Canning. I mean, nothing special. I mean, he did give up 4 versus the Athletics. They're 3-7 last 10, 1-4 last 5. If you want to simmer it down, they're hitting 204. So not even like. They're not even good. They're just like off preseason priors, I guess, with the reason why they're this price. I think the Mets can go in and score. So I like the Mets, and I like their team total to go over as well.
Okay, so yeah, a bit of a crossfire. I say it was basically David Fester. I think we're going to get him at a good price. I just wish he was on a different team.
Right.
Because taking your money to the window to bet the Twins at any point at the moment isn't a very good feeling. 1:15 Eastern is the Houston Astros at the St. Louis Cardinals. Ronel Blanco for Houston, left-handed pitcher Steven Matz for the Cardinals. Close on the books again, virtually a match. The Cards minus 105, the Astros minus 115, with a total of 8.5. I mean, again, we just talked about the Twins being a team you don't really want to back. I'm not rushing to back the Astros or the Cardinals either, Lonte. What do you think?
Yeah, me either. But the Cardinals' offense has been really good, man. Their offensive metrics are off the charts. Steven Matz is making his season debut. I mean, St. Louis is hitting 285 on the year. That's incredible. Yeah, that's incredible. 5.6 runs per 9, 10 hits averaging in that span. So, and Houston, I mean, inconsistent. They're poor on the road. 3-4 last 7 on the road. They're hitting 218, so not really hitting the ball. they don't really have an identity, I think. And while St. Louis has been, kind of up and down, they've won 3 of their last 4, all of those at home. They're at home in this spot. I mean, I don't love it, but I would take the home team here. Hopefully, Mats can go decent. I think St. Louis is a better offensive team as currently constructed. I mean, I think that they can score some runs on the Astros. So I'm going to go Cardinals. I don't love it, though, but I will go Cardinals and over.
Yeah, the St. Louis offense is okay. They had some good, fun young players. It was that pitching rotation, which is absolutely horrible. And it manifests itself in this game here. Bit of a confusing start of the season for Blanco. He looked better last time out in a blowout win against the Angels. But that was his only road start before this was 5 outs at Minnesota. It was a right old mess. So the jury's very much out on Blanco. Steven Matz has only pitched 11 2/3 this season in 5 relief appearances. This is his first start. And he was poor as a starter. He's been poor as a starter now for a couple of years. His longest appearance this year has been 9 outs just. If this is a bullpen day, the Cardinals bullpen isn't great either. I really don't want anything to do with either pitcher. So happy to take the Cardinals offense might do us a favour. I'm going to take the over. Lonte, I think we can see some runs here off both of these pitchers and the Cardinals bullpen. So I will take 8.5. We'll move on. Once I've told you first about Edge Boost, if you've ever had your deposit blocked by your bank right before a big bet, if you've needed cash at 2 a.m. for another shot at the tables, Edge Boost has got your back. It's the bank account built for bettors. Edge Boost gives you fast, reliable access to your funds. You can move up to $250,000 on your Edge Boost Visa debit card. Lonte regularly does that. Every time you deposit into a qualified gambling account, you can earn cashback rewards up to 0.5%. Edge Boost is a debit account that makes it easy to get started. Verify your identity and you're good to go. There's tons of responsible gambling tools on there too. Go to edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. That's www.edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Sign up for Edge Boost today. And we're brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA playoffs. Props for every game, tons of locations in play. Crypto, head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. 4:10 Eastern first pitch is the Chicago Cubs at the San Diego Padres. Matthew Boyd gets a start for the Cubs. For the Padres, it will be Nick Pivetta, who are -120 favourites. The Cubs are +100, and the total is 7.5. Historic run of form for the Padres at the moment. 11-0 at home, which I think is a franchise record. Fernando Tatis Jr. has 5 homers and 11 ribbies in his last 6 games. So if you want a batter to get on side with, Tatis is the man. The Cubs still reeling, I think, from a friend of the show, Justin Steele, out for the season, unfortunately. I think we handicapped him on the last show, Lonte, that we did together. But yeah, he's gone down he threw a brilliant start as well. He threw his best start of the season. And then that's him, unfortunately. Boyd's been going well. He's had a really tough start in terms of opposition. He's faced the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Diamondbacks. And now he gets the Padres again. But he's been really good. The Padres start on April the 5th was 6 scoreless. But that was at home. That was at Wrigley Field. The Padres are absolutely on fire at home. And I think they'll be ready to make adjustments here. And Nick Pavetta's been fine. 2 games at home. 2 times 7 innings. 2 times 0 earned runs. 14 strikeouts. There's no holes to be picked in what Pivetta can do. I think the Padres can adjust to Boyd. And they're in such good form at home. -120 seems like a great price to take them, Lonte. So I'll ride with the Padres.
Yeah, I like the Padres too. I think you laid it out pretty well. And obviously, this is one of those times early in the season where we don't really see where the other teams don't see a pitcher again. like right away. But this is a specific matchup that was on. I think they played on April 5th, if I'm not mistaken. So a little under 2 weeks ago. And I mean, San Diego, they won 5 straight. I mean, in that span, they've held teams to 1 run or less in 4 of their last 5. So the offense, I mean, the defense has been really good. Pitching has been elite. The bullpen, especially 1.57 ERA. When you look on the other side, I mean, the Cubs continue to kind of impress me. I mean, they took 2 of 3. Took 2 of 3 in Wrigley. In that time, they held San Diego to 1 earned run or fewer in 2 of those 3. Boyd and Imanaga both pitched. The Cubs have faced a tough schedule so far. I mean, they in 3 series they've Texas, San Diego, and the Dodgers. So they're 6-4 in the last 10. The thing that I pointed to that I think separates is the bullpen. The bullpen of Chicago can be had. I think ERA above 5 on the season. At home, I think Pivetta will be fine. 2 shutouts in 3 starts. He did give up 3 versus the Cubs, but that was on the road. Back at home, where San Diego's been dominant, I think 120 is a short price. So I like the Padres, and I'm going to go first 5 under. Both pitchers, I think, will go well here. I know it's probably not a popular opinion with how well both offenses have been playing, but I think these pitchers can go well and shut down the opposing team for a few innings. So I'm going to go San Diego full game and go first 5 under.
Yeah, that was a really appealing price when I looked at that. I was surprised. I thought they might be nearer sort of minus 130, minus 135.
I thought 150,
Yeah. 6:35 Eastern first pitch. Cleveland Guardians at the Baltimore Orioles. It will be Gavin Williams who takes the ball for Cleveland. Dean Kramer starts for Baltimore, who are minus 120 short home favourites. Cleveland even money for the win. And the total, Lonte, is at 8.
Yeah, I like that total over, man. I'm going to keep fading Dean Kramer as much as they throw him out there. He has been really bad so far. 5+ runs allowed in 2 of his 3 starts. He's allowed 8 hits in back-to-back games. 3 home runs allowed in his last start. And I know Cleveland hasn't really been hitting the ball that well, but they are 5-1 in their last 6. Now, 3 of those were against the White Sox, but that we'll take that out if you need to. But they got some momentum going. Gavin Williams really, really well. 2 earned runs or less in all 3 starts. He's not allowed a ton of contact. Not a lot of hits allowed. I mean, Baltimore's been a team I've been fading pretty much all year. They're 3-7 the last 10. They can't hit the ball. They're hitting under 200. Inconsistent. They've been alternating losses and wins pretty much all year long. At home, they're 1-3 in their last 4. Starting pitching, I mean, I just mentioned it with Kramer. The starting pitching ERA is above 5. I love the Minnesota first 5. I love the over, and I will take the Guardians team total over as well.
Yeah, Baltimore, another team I didn't really want in on at the start of the season, and it was the rotation, and it's falling apart pretty quickly. I think they're down to 4 healthy starters at the moment. Gavin Williams for Cleveland's been okay. A relatively short starts. Also hasn't faced the best oppo, and he's got a poor record in a short sample, in a small sample against the Orioles. Dean Kramer, I don't trust. 8.16 ERA in his 3 starts so far, Kramer. Baltimore have given up 9, 8, and 9 in his 3 starts. So Cleveland are 4-6 to the over against righties, but Baltimore are 10-2. First 5 against righties and 8-3-1 outright. So neither pitcher does a lot for me. I wanted runs. I love that 10-2 to the first 5, Baltimore. So yeah, first 5 over seems a pretty straightforward pick there for me. Next up, 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the Washington Nationals and the Pittsburgh Pirates. We have 2 lefties going to the mound here in Mitchell Parker for the Nationals and Bailey Falter for the Pirates. This is a match on the books, minus 110 each of 2, with the total sitting at 8.5. This was just a case of a pitcher that I really like and a team that I quite like against the opposite. Mitchell Parker has had an outstanding start of the season. 18 and 1/3 innings pitched. He's only given up 3 earned runs, and they've won all 3 games, the Nationals. I love him. He's held the Phillies and the Diamondbacks to 1 earned run in his 2 starts. So no problems there with Parker. Bailey Falter's been poor. The exact opposite, in fact, 3 losses for him. Before Pittsburgh hit 10 runs on Monday night, they'd hit 10 runs in the previous 5 games. The offense is poor. It's that simple. So I prefer the Nationals. I've got higher hopes for them on offense, and I much prefer the pitcher. -110 looks like a steal to me. I'll take Washington outright, Lonte.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. I mean, it's just an easy handicap for me. I mean, I prefer Parker over Falter. I prefer Washington over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's been kind of a bet against team for me so far. They were one of the win totals that I took under. I mean, outside of when Skeens is playing, they don't really play it as consistent enough. Washington has struggled a bit. They were 1-6 on the road. They lost 3 straight. All of those just so happen to be on the road, but they look really good versus the Dodgers. And I think that series kind of took a lot out of them, which is why they've been struggling as of late. Their bullpen struggles a bit as well. Their ERA is almost 7, but their offense has been really hitting on all cylinders, hitting about 250 in the last 10. You went over the Parker stats. I won't go over those, but I will tell you about Falter. I mean, Falter's lost 5 straight starts dating back to last year. 12 earned runs allowed, 5 walks in his last start. Like, he's been really 12 earned runs in his last 2 starts. I'm sorry. So I like Washington. I like their team total over. All 3 of Falter's starts have went over. I'm just going to continue betting against Pittsburgh unless Skeens is on the mound. Washington first 5 would probably be a little bit bigger bet for me, but I also like the full game as well. But just the bullpen of Washington kind of scares me a little bit if they can't like hang 3 or 4 run lead on the Pirates early. I'm scared the Nats bullpen will give up, those 3 or 4 runs. So I'm going to go a little bit bigger on the Washington first 5 and a little bit smaller on the full game.
Fair enough. Like that, Lunty. 6:40 Eastern first pitch. The Seattle Mariners at the Cincinnati Reds. Bryce Miller for Seattle. For Cincinnati, it will be Nick Martinez. -120 favourites are the Mariners. The Reds are even money. The total is at 8.5. Lonte, we've got 2 pitchers here sitting at 0-2. Can one of them get off the mark with a win here?
Yeah, I thought this was mispriced, to be honest. I mean, I thought the Reds should be favored. I mean, I know both. Now, just before disclosure, both teams I don't really like a ton. And they kind of cost me over the weekend because they've been playing well as of late. Seattle's won 4 in a row versus Cincinnati. 7 of the last 10. They had a good series sweep versus Texas. I thought that was a really good series for them. Their offense kind of came out of a funk. They're averaging about 8 runs during their win streak, hitting around 270. And if you just contrast that to what they usually do on the year, they're hitting 209 on the year. So obviously they played out of their minds in that series to kind of bump that up over the last 10. Cincinnati's playing well. Also, they're on a 3-game winning streak. They've won 5 of the last 6. They also had a good series win versus San Francisco. The pitching has been really, really solid. Only allowed more than 3 runs once in their last 6. 4 shutouts in that span. They just got to get the bats woken up. I mean, both of these teams have similar problems: good pitching, bad offense. I know Seattle's coming in to hotter offense, but at home, I think Cincinnati can take care of them. I mean, Martinez had 3 straight losses, but in those he had 4 earned runs allowed in 2 of those games. So he faced San Francisco twice. Now, this offense is obviously not San Francisco, so this is the worst offense he's faced. So I think he can go well here. Miller allowed 3 earned runs. 3+ earned runs in back-to-back starts before only allowing 1 versus Texas. So he started off. I mean, he's pitching well as of late, but I do think that Cincinnati can hit the ball here. I mean, Miller's allowed 6+ hits in 2 of his 3 games. Cincinnati at home. Martinez, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of, but I think he can go well here at home. I think the Cincinnati bats wake up a little bit. So I like the Reds to win this one.
Kind of handicap this the exact opposite, Lonte, in that I wanted to fade Cincinnati's offense again. And I faded them on the stats, whereas you've backed them on the direction that they're heading, which is just an absolutely different way of doing it. Like, their batting average is 200, which is 29th in the league. I like the 26th in walks, the 28th in OBP. Inconsistent, but you're right, they had a good weekend series. So are they coming out of that? Bryce Miller, his starts fit everything we know about Seattle. He's had 2 low-scoring defeats and then 1 win with where the total was 8. Like, that's just Seattle Mariners handicap. Thank you very much. It's easy. But Nick Martinez has given us an issue as well. 4-3 and 4 in runs in his 3 starts. Inconsistencies there. I preferred Seattle, but then I kind of quite like your handicap as well. So I'll just be pushing this way down my list, Lonte. You've talked me out of it.
No,
You're
I
a very
mean, but
good
like
man.
my handicap was, I mean, you can make the case for the other side too, just saying the same exact thing. But I just think the Reds at home, I think their offense will wake up a little bit. I mean, Martinez is not the better pitcher, but I just think that he can go a little bit better at home versus the. I'm basically banking on Seattle's offense, that series versus Texas being a outlier, you know.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll move on to the second half of the card. After I have told you all about Underdog Pick'em, you can play any sport and win up to 100 times your money. Use our code here, which is MLB SGPN. That'll get you a special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MLB SGPN. And finally, Rhythm, which is your home for AI-backed picks and props. Rhythm is now live for Major League Baseball. They've got models for NBA and golf. Build your own model is really easy. Rhythm's got some amazing deals going on right now. 25% off a monthly subscription with the promo code SGPN25 and 50% off an annual subscription with the promo code SGPN50. That's RITHMM, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. Next up is the 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Miami Marlins. Brandon Pfaadt goes for Arizona, and Miami will send Max Meyer to the mound. Plus 135 Miami. D-backs minus 160 on the road. Total here is set at 8. Lonte, we took Max Meyer last week at 2-1, and he duly obliged against the Mets. I found it pretty hard to get away from him here. How do you think he can go against the Diamondbacks?
Yeah, I like Meyer here. I like him here. The Diamondbacks have been a little bit better, but I just think it's just something about Miami that I like, man. I mean, they've been kind of steady. They haven't been too high, haven't been too low. They're 5-5 in their last 10, but they're still profitable if you grade out, some of the wins that they had. I like Meyer. He's been solid thus far, coming off 6 1/3 scoreless versus the Mets. He's had at least 6 innings pitched in his last 2 starts. I just prefer Meyer over Pfaadt. I mean, Pfaadt's allowing a solid amount of contact, 6 hits in at least 2 of his 3 starts. The starting pitcher for Arizona has not been up to par, ERA of 5. The bullpen is actually pitching a lot better. Overall, I think Arizona obviously is the better team, but in this specific spot, with the way the offense is going for Miami, I mean, they're hitting 250 plus. Each team is combined averaging 9.7 runs per 9 on almost 9 hits each. So I think we see some runs here as well. So I'm going Miami first 5, Miami full game, and the full game over.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't not pick Miami. Firstly, because I say we backed him at 2-1. That's not a reason to pick him again. But then I couldn't find a reason not to. Brandon Pfaadt isn't firing particularly. He's had 2 bad starts, but then he shoved last time against Baltimore. 6 scorers was really good. I need to see him do it again because he didn't finish 2024 very well. So the jury is still slightly out on Pfaadt. He's a pitcher I like, a pitcher I hope can take that step forward again. And the Diamondbacks aren't particularly hot either. What are these? 9-7? I mean, they're sitting 4th in that division. 9-7. You'd think it would be okay. Steady. And then they look above them. They've got the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Padres, who are all just tearing up. I mean, it's a terrifying division, that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't find a solid reason not to have another go at Miami with Max Meyer. Plus 135. It's not 2-1. It's a decent price again. So yeah, let's ride with the Miami Marlins. 6:45 Eastern. First pitch is the San Francisco Giants at the Philadelphia Phillies. left-handed pitcher Robbie Ray. For the Giants. For the Phillies, it will be Aaron Nola, who are minus 130 favourites. The Giants plus 110. Total is 7.5. Giants in great form. You mentioned them earlier on. 36 runs scored in their last 4 games. Robbie Ray's looked good so far. And then I've got in brackets, kind of. He's a hard one to work out because you look at the innings pitched, the strikeouts, and the earned run, and he's fine. But he walked 4 and 5 in his last 2 starts. Like 9 batters is a problem. He's got a 5.32 career ERA against Philly, which is a concern. The Phillies aren't going great. They've lost 6 of 9. Nola's been all right again on the surface, but 0-3 with a 5.51 ERA. And he walked 4 last time out as well. So if you want to walk prop in this game, everyone, this should just be could be a carousel here. He's got a career 6.58 against the Giants. So you've got 2 big name pitchers. But a lot of the pointers are towards the over. The Giants are 9-3 to the over against right-handed pitching. They've just scored a ton of runs. Both pitchers look a bit shaky and have got poor career records against his opposition. And you're giving me the total at 7.5, which I think is far too low, Lonte. Yeah, I'll take the over. Happy to take the over.
Yeah, I like over as well. I also like the Phillies to kind of get things done here. You mentioned Nola. I mean, Nola's got 4 straight losses dating back to last year, 3 this year. He's not pitched bad, though. I mean, in his last 2, the offense just couldn't get anything going. I mean, they scored a combined 2 runs in his 3 starts. So he's pitched well enough to win. The offense just hasn't bailed him out or been good enough for him. They've been inconsistent, 4 and 6 last 10 as of late. They're hitting 189 the last 10, 3.1 runs per 9. But I think their success against Ray and his walk issues will allow them to kind of see things differently offensively. So I think Nolo can go well here. But again, he's had walk issues as well. I like San Francisco long-term. They've been steady. The bullpen has been really elite, one of the better bullpens in the league so far, 1.7 ERA. But I think the Phillies have a good series here. I think they win on the back of a good Nola performance, and Nola finally gets some offensive support from him after not getting any in his first 3 starts. So I like Philly, and I like the over.
Okay, next up, we'll go to a 7:05 Eastern first pitch between the Boston Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays. Boston are officially TBD, but I think it will be Sean Newcomb who's going to the hill there. Tampa Bay Rays have Zach Littell confirmed and are minus 135 favourites. The Red Sox plus 115, and the total Lonte is 9.
Yeah, just as long as it's Newcomb, I like Tampa. Although they've been up and down during this 3-series homestand, they're alternating losses and wins up until last night's win versus Boston to make it 2 in a row. I just don't trust Boston right now. They lost 3 of the last 4. 2 of those were to the White Sox, so they should count as probably 3 losses. Offense has been bad, really bad over the last 10. Outside of that big 18-run game versus St. Louis, they've scored 2 or less in 6 of their next 8. So not getting a ton of production from the offense. Don't trust Newcomb. I mean, he's been okay. Not much length. He's not made it out of the 5th inning in any start. A lot of contact allowed, but no home runs. So I think Tampa will go well here. Tampa's actually hitting the ball pretty well. 261 last 10, 5.4 runs per 9. They're hitting the ball 10 hits in that span. Littell, 4 straight losses, 3 this year. 12 earned runs allowed in his last 2, 5 home runs. So I think he can go well here with Boston's struggles offensively. So I'm going to go Tampa first 5, and I'll go Tampa team total over as well.
Sean Newcomb isn't without hope. You said he's only going sort of 4 innings. Lots of strikeouts, but the huge red flag is the whip. You said lots of contact. He's got a 213 whip. This ballpark is starting to play like a little league ballpark. We said we'd have to give it a bit of time. The Rays just played a 4-game set against the Braves over the weekend. Averaged 10.25 runs per game in that one. They all went over. So Newcomb is giving up a ton of contact, and Zach Little's been lit up twice. 12 earned runs in his last 2 games started. So all of that tells me the total's high, tied for a reason 9, but we would have cleared that all weekend, and I don't see why we can't clear it again tomorrow, where with 2 pitchers who seem determined to help us out. 7:05 Eastern first pitch is the Kansas City Royals at the New York Yankees. We have left-handed pitcher Chris Bubich, favourite of the propcast with Sean and Adam, going for the Royals. For the Yankees, it will be Clark Schmidt. -165 for the Pinstripes, +140 for the Royals. Total sits at 8.5. Bobby Witt flying for the Royals. He's got a 13-game hit streak against the New York Yankees. So if you're looking for a player prop tomorrow, Bobby Witt might be your man. Bubich has been really good. 3 starts, 6 innings all 3 times. Only 2 earned runs allowed with 21 Ks. 2 road starts in there. They've both been fine. This is Clark Schmidt's season debut. He's the pitcher who will be on a pitch count. I mentioned Spencer Strider earlier on. Will be a full go. Round about 75 pitches, we think, for Clark Schmidt here. Shoulder fatigue in spring training, which is a bit of a weird one, a bit of a concern. The Royals are live here, but I considered taking him. But the 2-5 on the road, and the Yankees are hitting left-handed pitching really well. 272, they're hitting against lefties. So both of those things tempered my confidence. Jazz Chisholm flying, 6 home runs so far for the Yankees. And it was runs where I went 8.5 high. The Yankees against the left-handed pitching. And Schmidt, just not sure about Schmidt on debut. I was bullish about Strider. I'm not so much about Schmidt in this spot. And the Royals can get on the board as well. So I'm going to take another over, Lonte.
Really? I kind of like under. I know. Yeah, I know the Yankees. Well, historically, the Yankees have dominated Kansas City. I mean, they've won 7 of the last 10, just whittling it down to the last year and a half. And the Yankees have been inconsistent as of late. It's alternating wins and losses over the last 5. The pitching really has been their Achilles heel. The starting pitching ERA is above 5, but the bullpen is, right under 4. So I think the bullpen has been a little bit better. And if Smith's only going, 4 innings, maybe depending on how efficient he is in his pitching, I think the bullpen can go well. Kansas City, I mean, their offense still hasn't been good, especially on the road. They're hitting 190 on the road, 201 the last 10. They're also under in 7 of the last 10. And on the flip side, their starting pitching has been really great. You mentioned Buick's numbers. Starting pitching for them has a 2.95 ERA. I think that just goes to show you that that's their strength, and they're kind of just leaning on the top of that lineup, coming through whenever they have to, winning low-scoring games. So I think we see like a 3-2 score here. I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I'm gonna go Kansas City and under.
Okay, a bit of a crossfire. I like that, Lonte. 7:40 Eastern first pitch is the Athletics at the Chicago White Sox. Osvaldo Bido for the A's and Jonathan Cannon for the White Sox, who are +130. The A's -155, and the total is set at 8. Lonte, White Sox back at home. Any hope for them?
I don't think so, man. I don't think so, man. I mean, I think that the Athletics are a really feisty team. I mean, they haven't been playing well, or they haven't been winning games, but they've been playing well in certain spots. 3 of the last 4 losses have been by 1 run, so they're in games. They just don't have the kind of veteran savvy players. All their young guys. I mean, all their guys are young, and they're just kind of learning on the fly. So I think in the next year or so, they'll learn to win some of those games. They just haven't as of yet. Bido has been really good, 2 earned or less in all 3 starts. He has allowed 15 hits in his last 2, but no home runs and only 4 earned. So, I mean, I don't think he has to worry a ton about the Chicago offense. Cannon's 3 straight losses. He's coming off giving up 6 earned runs to Cleveland. I think the A's can go well here. I'm going to take their team total to go over. I would actually lay the 1.5 with the A's. You get a nice plus price on that. So, I like the A's team total over the most of.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. If there's a -150 around, you could take the unit and a half play, but I've got no problem with the A's run line. Um, Beto is steady, 5 innings 3 times. He held the Padres last time out. He was fine on the road in 2024, so no issues with him. I think the Jonathan Cannon first 5 trend, it's time to consign that to the history books, unfortunately. We enjoyed it last year. It was fun while it lasted, but it hasn't lasted. It's been all over the place, Cannon, as you said. The White Sox, if you looked at the home record, you'd think, yeah, maybe they're a bit better at home, but they sort of got a couple of cheap wins in that first opening series against the Angels, and then that's it. They're not really to be trusted. So yeah, it's the A's. A's -150, or you could probably get a nice price, as Lonte says, on the run line. The penultimate game here is the 8:05 Eastern first pitch between the LA Angels and the Texas Rangers. Jose Soriano goes for the Angels. It will be left-handed pitcher. Ooh, Patrick Corbin goes for Texas. I'd handicap Tyler Marley for that one. Did you have Marley or Corbin?
No, I had Corbin, so I can lead it off if you want.
Okay. Well, we'll let you lead off on this one then, because I've got the wrong bloke pitching. The Angels are -115. The Rangers -105. Total is 9.5. I will quickly do some homework, and you can give us the winner, Lonte.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, so I like Texas in the game. I mean, Corbin was decent in his debut. I mean, he did face a tough Cubs team who we talked about earlier in the show, and they obviously were one of the better offensive-driven teams thus far. The Angels are still performing above expectations. I mean, I think the odds makers and mine as well. They've won 6 of the last 10. They're hitting the ball really well. The young guys are hitting the ball really well. They're hitting about 250 over the last 10. The bullpen is still kind of shaky, 6.29 ERA, almost allowing 300 batting average allowed. Soriano has been decent, 2 or less allowed in 2 of his last 3 starts. He's pitched deep into the game, so that's kind of taken away from that bullpen. He's pitched at least 7 in both of his wins. So you can kind of bank on him to carry them if he's going well. But I'm banking on Texas being really good in a bounce-back series. They were swept by Seattle, who we talked about earlier. They went 1-5 on a 2-series road trip. They're hitting about 209 the last 10. They're actually struggling at home, 200. They're hitting about 200 at home. But the Angels, familiar foe. Texas have won 5 straight against them. I just think this is a good spot for Texas. I also like the over. Both teams over in 6 of the last 10. I trust the offense for the Angels to kind of keep performing. But I think more what I'm betting on is Texas to, get some kind of offensive flow going and a little bit of consistency here. So I'm going with Texas and the over.
I shouldn't really have had to do too much homework on Corbin because we know all about Corbin. And I actually fancied the Angels while it was Marley on the mound. So the presence of Corbin doesn't really do anything to put me off here. Soriano has gone good, bad, good. But both of his decent starts have been on the road. He's got decent career numbers against Texas. Texas still not hitting very well, 3.2 runs per game. And the last note I made when I thought it was Marley going was that the Angels would be value at a good price. Now, obviously, that price is diminished because they're taking on Patrick Corbin. But -115 because I like Soriano and I'm still not really buying Texas. Corbin could blow up for 6 or 7 easily. I'm going to stick with the Angels. I would have preferred the bigger price, but I'll stick with the Angels at -115. The final game here, on paper, I think this is the shortest price I have seen so far. It's a Cowboy time, 10:10 Eastern first pitch between the Colorado Rockies and the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Rockies have German Marquez going to the hill. For the Dodgers, it will be Yoshinobu Yamamoto. -315, the Dodgers. +255, the Rockies. Totals 8.5. First line on the Rockies here is that Chris Bryant has gone to the IL. The last thing they needed. Not that he was pulling up any trees anyway, particularly. Some sort of degenerative disc thing. Anything with the word degenerative can't be very good. I'm not a doctor, but that would be my assumption. What I tried doing here was trying to find any reason not to take a Dodgers run line or a Dodgers alt line.
Yeah.
That was my tactic to handicap the game, and I couldn't find one. The Dodgers have won 12 of their last 14 at home against the Rockies. The Rockies are 1-9 on the road. Do you want to back Marquez? I had a little look at that. No. Do you want to fade Yamamoto? I had a look at that. No. There's nothing in there to talk you out of anything apart from an alt-run line, a team total, something like that. There was nothing big or clever you could do with this game, Lonte. So yeah, take Dodgers -2.5 if you want, or put your $5 elsewhere. But have you got a fascinating angle to give us the Rockies, Lonte?
Nah, I don't, man. You broke it down perfectly. I just went with the team total over. And usually if you can find a team to score the most runs for the day on DraftKings and some of these other apps as well. So I think the Dodgers probably a good bit. They'll obviously probably be the short favorite. But I just landed on a team total over and just laddered it up to see if they can get to, 8-9 runs here. They scored 5+ versus Colorado in 8 of their last 10. Colorado scored 3 runs combined in their last 4. Yeah, I mean, that's the only creative way you can get to it. I mean, unless you just want to lay like 2.5, 3.5 runs with the Dodgers, that's probably the only bang for your buck that you're going to get. Yamamoto's been going really good, man. He's been going really good. I got that Cy Young ticket ready, so hopefully he can keep it going. But yeah, I mean, Dodgers team total over. Alt run lines would be the only way to go.
Yeah, tricky to find anything inventive with that one. So Lonte, 15 games in the book. One thing I will mention, I was trying to upload the picture onto the live stream, but as you know, I'm entirely incapable of doing anything technical because someone in the marketing team here has made the Total Genius cap, and it looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
This cap cannot be bought; it can only be won. It looks really, really good. I'll get someone who's not me to upload the picture, and we'll stick it up on Twitter as well, so you can see what the hat looks like. But we do need a player, so if there's anyone who's live watching now who wants a game of Total Genius, if you remember the rules, all we need is 6 consecutive total winners, over or under, for 6 consecutive days, and you'll get yourself a Total Genius hat. Or if you're not watching live, just drop us a message. Let me know on Twitter or wherever you can. Come and post in the YouTube comments, even if we're not live, because we'll see it on the next show. So if anyone wants to get involved, by all means, give us a shout. Lonte, lock and dog here. Quite a few to choose from, I think. What have you got?
Yeah, let's see. Let me see. Let me make sure the prices are still good. Let me see. Let's go with the lock. Let's go to Washington. I mean, let's go to Pittsburgh, but taking Washington. Actually, they don't have a first 5 out. So I'll take that back. So let's go Phillies -130 at home. I think it's a good spot for Nola to get his first win. I know San Francisco's hot. I think that price is basically a little bit lower than what it would have been if the Phillies had been playing a little bit better. So I have it closer to like 160. So let's take Phillies -130 for the lock. For the dog, it's going to be small. We're going to take Cincinnati +105 at home against Seattle.
Okay, my lock. Looking around here, and I think that total in the Giants-Phillies game is too low. It's the names of the pitchers are what make the total. People are looking at Robbie Ray and Nola and thinking, yeah, okay, that's got 3-2. But I think we'll see runs that there's so many red flags under the bonnet of both of those two. So I'll take the over 7.5 in that one. And as my dog, I've painted myself into a corner here. And I've got to take Max Meyer again. +135 for the Marlins against the Diamondbacks. He was great last time. And the Diamondbacks aren't really in the best of form. Miami are capable of springing that upset like they did last week against the Mets at 2-1. So I'll take Miami. And finally, Lonte, now we can entirely phone our dingers in because for the last 2 shows, we've both hit both of them. We had the 30-1 play a couple of weeks ago, and then we did the show last week, and we hit Austin Riley and Christian Yelich. So I've ran the numbers, Lonte. 162 games. The show doesn't go on a Saturday, which means it's about 140 games. The 6 potential co-host pairings on the show. So 140 divided by 6. So 25 times we're going to do the show together, and we've hit 30-1 twice. So we're 35 points in profit. So we can just we can give out happy buyers every night now for the rest of the season, and no one can complain. We're good. We're in a hammock, Lonte. We've got exotic ladies fanning us with palm leaves. We can do anything we want. Or we can endeavour to do it again, Lonte. So who's your dinger pick for tomorrow?
Yeah, let's try. So I'm stuck between 2 guys. I'm stuck between Kyle Mazzardo and Ellie De La Cruz. I try to choose somebody going against Kramer, who's allowing a lot of contact. I think Mazzardo's been playing a lot better. He's got the day off a few days ago, so he should be a little bit fresher because they don't bat him really against lefties. So, but Ellie, man, I think Ellie's due for a big game, big series. Let's go with Ellie De La Cruz. Let's go with Ellie De La Cruz to hit one.
Okay. Lonte's gone with it. I've gone for, we're going to fade Jonathan Cannon tomorrow against the A's, and we're going to fade him with the first baseman, Tyler Soderstrom, for the A's. He's been absolutely barreling it up as the A's first baseman. So I fancy him to get going tomorrow against Oakland. Now, I've said Oakland again. Shit. 57 minutes.
That's back-to-back shows. Back-to-back shows.
Yeah. I think that's 3 in a row. Ellie De La Cruz and Tyler Soderstrom for the three-peat for me and Lonte. Riley's joined us for the last 30 seconds of the show. Riley's tempted to do something, but I don't know what he means, unless he's tempted to play a total genius. Riley, you've got about 30 seconds. Stick your total play for tomorrow in this box, and that puts you in the chair to win that bespoke, beautiful cap. Lonte, thank you very much. Tell me what's going on with the NBA, because I don't know anything about it. Playoffs starting. What do I need to know?
Yeah, it's just playoffs. We're just going to we got the play in tonight, tomorrow, and then the actual playoffs start. So it's basically like to see the last 4 seeds are in each conference, or the last 2 seeds. I'm saying 2 seeds in each conference, so a total of 4. Those are done in a playoff form, in a playoff type format, like win or go home. So we get to see who the last 2 playoff teams will be for each conference tonight and tomorrow, and then the playoffs start this weekend. So it's one of the better times to watch basketball in the playoffs for casual fans.
Yeah, I don't think I've got time for another vice. I tried this with college football, college baseball. I just haven't got time. I understand that. I'd be a dead man walking. Champions League again tomorrow night. The last 2 quarterfinals finish. Thanks, Lonte. That was lots of fun as usual. We are in good form. Hopefully, we can keep it up. Thanks everyone who joined us in the chat. Relatively quiet one this evening. I think myself and Dylan are back tomorrow night to handicap Thursday's games. So good luck with all of your bets, and we will see you all down the road. Cheers.
Yes, sir.